Hi there and welcome to my channel. My name is Miss Naba. I was so close to saying my name is Lydia Nabalayo. But yeah, my name is Miss Naba. And in today's video, you guys, if you have watched my previous vlog, I have said, in the introduction, I said that I wanted to do some meditation. But then I looked at the clock and I saw that time was indeed running, but I don't know why I keep wasting time. If you watch the news and if you're in Kenya, my county is among like the 13 the 13 hotspot counties, and man, I just feel like here people will die a lot because of COVID. And I'm sorry if I sound pessimistic and all that, but here's why. We have stayed the whole of last year, Western and Nyanza, believing that COVID does not exist. But now that COVID has hit here and this chain that has hit is the Indian variant, people, like, it's not giving you a chance to even be sick, because you hear this one had COVID and then the next day they've passed. But still our matatus are crowded, still people are not wearing their masks, still people are not sanitizing. People think COVID is a joke, and that really makes me sad. Anyways, apart from that, that is a lot of COVID talk that I'm giving you people. I feel like I owe you people a story time. I just want to tell you a story. I've been hunting for a really nice place to sit down and do a video, and I'm thinking I actually may have found it. So I've decided, why not to just sit down and tell you people a quick story, and then I can be going, because I have some errands that I need to run. So in my previous video I told you my mom was sick, and I came to Vihiga, and the reason I came to Vihiga was I was escaping a lot that had happened, and that is a story time that I want to tell you people. And the title of this story time is going to be that I set myself up for a breakup. And where that's going to be quite a story time, and I really hope you enjoy it. If you're new here, please subscribe. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much. I do not take that for granted. Now, time for my story. Quick warning again, as I had said in my previous video, we live just next to the road, and where we live, it's a plot, so it's a, like, not apartments, because in Western you don't think, okay, there are, but we live with people, neighbors, so, and they have kids who are quite noisy, so you'll hear a lot of that. But I hope you will still be able to hear me clearly. Anyways, I knew this guy, I'm going to call him M. I knew M for a while. We like met in 2017. He mistook me for someone else, and by then I was dating this guy whose name is N, and so I was really not interested in getting to know him or anything like that. Now, when I was young, I used to think I loved older men because apparently they are mature. So I used to find myself wanting to be with men that were a little bit older than I was. Growing up now, I feel like the type of men that I want men that are my age group. Men that are still bloody fucking, men that don't know what they want, men that, cause I'm gamophobic. Sometimes I feel like I'm scared of commitment, I'm scared of relationships, and I'm scared of just like all that. So being with this confused age group is it really helps soothe my phobia for commitment, but it really is not a good thing. But anyway, with M is 7 years older than me, and we met immediately after high school, and then we kept contact, and then we kept talking, and I could tell that this guy wanted to date me, but then again, I was just pursuing other relationships with other people and never him. Now with COVID, we were living in Vihiga, and then in September we moved to Bungoma, and he runs a couple of businesses in Bungoma. So I was a little bit close to him. So we started talking, but most of the time, like previously, I used to ghost him whenever we started getting close, because I was just like, no. So he went and pursued his other relationships, and for me, my situationships and all that. And I remember this one time, me and him had started getting close, and I had a photo I had taken with a friend of mine, and I shamelessly posted it on my status, and I put only him to view, and I wrote happy 1-year anniversary, and he responded to it, was like, hi, so you've been dating? I was like, yeah. But in real sense, I wasn't, but it did help. So come this year, he broke up with a girlfriend, and also for me, honestly, I broke up with no one, but I was like heavily single. For me, I'm like these single girls who are not really single, but they are. So he was single, I was single, and then we now decided to, let's see where this actually goes. So we started seeing each other, we'd go out. I met his friends, he didn't meet any of my friends, because but like it was quite a good period of time. Yeah, so this one time, I want to make sure that I am not forgetting anything that might be important, but I think that is what is important for now. So we started seeing each other, or I think started dating. I did meet some of his family members, but for me that really freaked me out, because knowing him, he had talked earlier of the fact that he feels like he's now in the age of settling, and he wants to settle, just get a lady, settle, have kids. And I'm like, me, I'm not in the age of settling, I'm not thinking about it, I have no intentions. So I feel like that used to freak me out a little bit. And even when I was talking to my friends, I used to tell them, I honestly and genuinely can't be with this guy, because he wants something that's serious, and me, I don't want something that's serious. But I don't want to tell him that I don't want something that's serious, because I might lose him. But then again, he needs to look for someone who might actually want something that's serious. So like, you get that entire situation and what was happening there. Hey, anyway, so fast forward to, we get really close, and then one day I fell sick, and now I couldn't go see him. And during that period that I fell sick, like, I never spent time with him. I'm not the people to, sometimes I feel like I'm the people who, once I start dating, I might let everyone know. But then even when it came to posting him, I just like post his legs and post his arms or something like that, like to just let you know that I am cuddling, you're not. Wewe unalala peke yako, mimi nalala silali peke yangu, you get. So that was like the case. Anyway, so I fell sick, and now I couldn't go see him. And then immediately I felt, or I sensed that the connection was a little bit weird. The connection was funny, and I didn't like his friends, because his friends are flirts, and show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. Like, this nigga would have a girlfriend, and he's saying that he wants to sleep with this other girl, and we're like, what the hell? You have a girlfriend at home that's waiting for you. I felt like the connection was a little bit weird. We stopped talking and all that. Okay, not that we stopped talking. Okay, he had this manner where or which he would let's say we had an argument, and he'd say he's sorry, and then we'd sort it out during that moment. But later on, when you're talking about it, he'd make it sound like I was being petty at that time, or it was just foolish how I was seeing that situation at that time. So one day I'm sick, mind you, I've fallen sick. I'm just at home. I can't tell my parents because, yeah, if you know, you know. So I'm just like taking drugs and hoping, you know what, I really hope that I get better and all that. And in Bungoma I was living alone. So one day we were talking on the phone and we had talked for a long time, I think close to 2 hours or something like that. And then he referred to a situation we had had an earlier argument on, and I got so mad I hung up on him. He tried calling me, I kept declining his calls. And I knew at some point I'd have to communicate it to him that I don't like this manner of yours. But then I just didn't feel like I wanted to talk to him. He tried calling me like close to 5 times. I declined all his calls. And then the next day he called me and asked me, how are you feeling? I told him I'm still not feeling well, but I feel like I'm getting a little bit better. Then he asked me why, like what happened yesterday. I don't know what I said wrong. Could you tell me what I said wrong? And I was like, no, we'll talk about it later when it's face to face. I don't feel like it's a conversation I want to have with you like via phone. I was like, okay. And then he started saying, you know, I started asking myself a lot of questions, or are you bipolar, and all that. And I felt like he was so mad, and I told him, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, but I don't feel like that's a conversation I want to have with you via phone. So he stopped talking to me. Like I'd be the one that was texting all the time, and sometimes he'd ignore me. And I was like, I said, I'm sorry, what's wrong with you? And then one day, since last year, I had like quite last year sometime in March, I had quite a rough breakup, and that breakup made me like get rid of my blue ticks, get rid of my GG receipts and all that. So he knew anytime we were talking, we used to talk with grey ticks. So one day I returned my blue ticks, but for him, he didn't know that I had returned my blue ticks. So I'm texting him and he's blue ticking me. And then I text him again, he's blue ticking me. I text him again, he's blue ticking me. And that continued. And then eventually I told him, for your information, I have my blue ticks. And he was like, actually, no, sorry, I've been in a meeting, and I was like, which type of meeting do you have at 10:30 p.m. at night on a weekend? And okay, it wasn't weekend, I think it was Friday. And he said it's a business meeting, and he sent me a screenshot of someone telling him that the meeting will be today at 10, but he had cropped so you couldn't see the time and you couldn't see the day, you couldn't see like anything. And then I told him, if you have the energy to send me screenshots, send me a screenshot of that meeting. And don't crop anything until that time. And I was like, so you don't trust me? And I was like, yes, I do not trust you. And then he told me the meeting is actually over. It's just ended right now. And he started saying how, and I was like, okay. So when he told me he is not responding to my messages because he is in a meeting, my other phone, my Infinix, I have a WhatsApp line there. So I texted him with that WhatsApp line. And I was like, hi. And I was like, hi. Immediate response. And I'm like, hi, my name is D. And I've just been passing around. Like I completely took a different persona. And he was responding to the messages immediately. My immediate intention at that moment was to just see that he was lying to me because he was responding to messages on this other line. But now the conversation continued on this other side, and on my side, he has come up with excuses of how this week has been tough, and I'm getting so mad, and I'm telling him one, and I even ended up telling him I didn't like the reason as why I declined. I hung up on you that day, and I told him that, and I told him I don't like this man of yours, and I was like, I'm so sorry, we can work on that. I didn't know this is how you feel. I'm really, really sorry that I make you feel like that. And then he was telling me a lot has been happening. I'm like, I am supposed to know what's happening. Like, see, okay, that sounds entitled, but like, you're not supposed to be stressed over things that you can share with me, and you won't be stressed anymore. Or, okay, if I'm gonna date you, you're going to tell me what's happening in your life, and that's on period. Me, I don't care. Actually, if you're a private person, we are private together. I am part of your privateness. I need to know what's happening. So he eventually tells me what's happening, and he made up an entire story. Okay, the thing with me is I'll always know when you're like, I will always know when I pretend, because I will notice like tiny inconsistencies in your story, and I will know you are lying, and I will play along, and I'll be like, yeah, you have a point or whatever and all that. And I notice the inconsistencies in his story. And then he told me, I'm really tired, I feel like I need to sleep. And I was like, okay, but this other side, he is not telling me, he's not telling D that she needs to sleep. So he starts asking, sis, no, me, I've been told good night. So I text him with this other line. And I think the conversation died at some point, because I called him multitask. And then he goes ahead and, oh my God. Yani, man, like, okay, the conversation dies, and he texts and he says, I rarely update my profile picture, because indeed his profile picture is usually cars. He loves cars and all that. But if you want some pictures of mine, I can send you. He volunteered photos. And then I told my friend, earlier I told my friend what I'm doing, and was like, you better catch this nigga. And so she sent me a photo of hers, and I sent it to the guy. So he thought I was talking to that lady. He sent not one, not two, but 3 photo shoot photos. Hey. So, like, okay, wow. And, you know, shortly after, the conversation just became sexual. And he started flirting with D. And I was getting angry at this point. I was like, what the hell? And I asked him, are you single? And he responded. And he said, I'm not single. And I was like, okay, yeah, that's nice, okay, at least. And then a second text comes, I am super single. He starts flirting with D, and before you know it, it's now a sex chat. And I ask him, D asks him, when was the last time you... He says, a couple months ago. And I was with you before I fell sick. So yeah, and he was there, and it was like, personally I'm poor with sexting, so I couldn't like maintain it, but he was like doing the work. and all that. And I was so mad. I was so mad. And then I told him, I have a friend who's expectant that I kept saying I was going to visit, but I never visited. So eventually I texted him on my phone, on my line, the one that he knows. And I told him, you remember when I was telling you I need to go visit this one? And he was like, yeah. Did you go? I was like, yeah, I actually did. And he was like, oh yeah, okay, how is she doing? I was like, she's doing nice and all of that stuff. But I think hata singekuja, ungekuja kumbi wewe. And he's like, I'm not understanding what's happening here. And I'm like, I am also not understanding. Will you come to visit an expectant lady, or was this supposed to be a boutique? Now I gave my expectant friend the persona of D. And I was like, what are you saying? I was like, you're sexting with a pregnant lady. You can't even ask. Umetoa pi namba yangu? Umefanya nini? You can't even ask. Immediately. Imagine. And where? And he, you know, he got mad. Now he's the one who has the right to be mad. Me, the one that you're cheating on with me, huh? I cannot be mad. When do the mad one? And then I told him the only reason that I gave D your number, was because you are not responding to my messages. And she was like, let me text him and see if he'll respond to my messages. Little did I know, you're about to turn this entire. I told him, and I blocked him because men are trash. And he said, good night, we will talk tomorrow about this. And I told him, no need, I will have blocked you by then. And he says, feel free. I feel free to block you. Yaniwa. Hey. What? Anyways, we have reached the end of my story time. I hope you have enjoyed it. And the moral of the story is that men are trash, but still our toxic trait is that we are attracted to men. Okay, mine, I don't want to speak for people. My toxic trait is that I'm attracted to men. But then again, that is kind of like the meanest reason that made me take that break. Again, I don't know how to separate matters of the heart from matters of content creation and all that, but sure, I hope I will learn. But I hope you have enjoyed my story time. Now it's time for me to go and actually run those errands. I will see you people next time, and inshallah my next video, like we don't have to give you spoilers. See you next time. Bye bye.